If you like true crime and trials, this was a good week. Several trials are ongoing, and we are starting to build up to the Delphi trial. This is a weekly summary on just legal history, and I am your host, Mike. Let's start off with the case I've been following more closely this week, and that's the Karen Reed case. Friday was the continuation of Katie McLaughlin's testimony. She was the paramedic on the fire truck who was responsible for talking with people while the rest of the crew worked on John O'Keefe. It was her job to ask questions like, what happened? Is he allergic to any medicine? Did something change? Those type of questions. It was with her asking Karen Reed that Karen said to her, I hit him. Katie said she then turned around and let an officer take over as she went back to the ambulance. Then came an in-camera review that the public got to see. Normally an in-camera review is a meeting in chambers where the counselors get together with the judge and they ask some questions, and then the judge rules whether evidence can be brought in or not. In this case, it was a question about pictures of Katie with Caitlin Albert. Caitlin is one of the people who lived next door to John O'Keefe, and the defense postulates John was actually killed in the Alberts' house or had a fight with them. The picture was taken during high school, according to Katie, and the defense wanted to bring in the pictures to show that the jury that Caitlin and Katie were actually good friends and not just acquaintances. The judge ruled that the pictures could not be brought in, but they could be talked about. It must have been really weird for the jury to hear about the pictures and get what was in the pictures without seeing them. But Katie testified that she and Caitlin were just acquaintances and that she didn't know that it was her house. People that defend Karen Reed are definitely saying that Katie is lying. Once Katie was finished testifying, everyone packed up and went to the house where John O'Keefe died. They got to see the house and the yard and the Lexus that Karen Reed drove. After the field trip, they came back and there was testimony by two more firefighters/paramedics. After John was taken to the hospital, the firefighters were called back to Karen's house on a Section 12 call. This is a call thinking that someone might be suicidal and need to be taken in. The first one was to testify was Lieutenant Woodbury and then Daniel Whiteley. They were testifying about talking with Karen that morning. They talked about her mood swings, how she said she couldn't go on living without John. She couldn't take care of the kids since they weren't hers. I think everything sounded normal for someone going through that kind of trauma. Testimony wrapped up for the week and will resume on Monday. Now the two trials I didn't follow closely this week, but they are still ongoing. First, in the Daybell trial, there was testimony on Friday from an FBI agent about the discovery of the two children on Daybell's property. I heard it was very gruesome, and the FBI agent talked about finding a silver charm that helped them lead to the children's bodies. That trial continues next week. In the Trump trial, a lot of this week was spent on people who potentially helped with controlling stories about what got out about Donald Trump. The question is, in this case, isn't really if he paid to have stories squashed or ran, but did he lie about them financially? Also on Monday, Trump was held in contempt of court for his social media posts. Trump was fined $9,000 for the posts and ordered to take them down, which he did. The trial continues next week. Delphi case is getting closer. This week we heard news about the contempt hearing that was held a little bit ago. The judge ruled that even though the defense was sloppy, there was no contempt. It will be reported to Indiana Bar Council or equivalent, but no fines or anything else was handed down. A hearing was scheduled to see if and what the defense could bring in for a third-party culpability. As of right now, the trial is scheduled to start soon. And now to a potential case in my neck of the woods. The autopsy reports for Suzanne Morphew were released. Earlier, Suzanne's body was found, and ironically it was found looking for someone else's body. The autopsy report ruled that it was a homicide based on tranquilizer chemicals detected. It is reported that when they searched the house, they found tranquilizer dart caps, and now that has been determined to be the cause of death. At one time, the husband, Barry, was arrested and charged, but the charges were dropped at the time by the prosecutor because there was no body. Now we wait to see if and when he gets charged again. We're now in May and getting close to summer. The Kentucky Derby was a close race. Hope you picked the right horse. And please remember, be safe and don't do anything that gets you on one of my episodes. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.